Good morning. It's Monday, as I think my thumbnail says. I am alternate juror. Thank you for joining me this Monday. I hope you are all doing well. I hope none of you were in the path of any of the storms over Friday and Saturday. Those were awful. They went through my home state, the neighboring state, I think north of Carmen in Texas, Missouri. There was a lot. I was watching them live and all the tornadoes live in Iowa. It was fascinating and devastating and everything. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Good morning to Gabby and Chrissy and Stormy. And yep, Chrissy. Um, you're at one. I changed the logos. So you had a gold star, and then I changed it so now you have a one, a gold one, so I could make the gold star for the new members, so that because one I had was hard to see. So yeah, the pictures were nuts. I just happened to turn on Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, y'all. He's got a great channel for weather updates, and he's really good. I like him a lot. And then he had storm chasers on the ground. So he goes to Iowa, and then we just see this tornado like form and come down. It was crazy. Hamilton, what is up? Good to see you. We've missed you. Be careful. You stay well. We'll see you back soon. Glad to see her. I've been wondering about Hamilton. So, Katrina Mendoza is going to be sentenced today, but not until 2:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Central Time in Judge Boyd. Should be Judge Boyd's room or courtroom. It'd be nice if Judge Boyd took her to a room and we couldn't see anything. But so we've got that coming up. I will stop whatever. I'll stop this stream and start that one so that it's a stream on its own. And I'm already having connection issues. I'm great. It's raining and a little thundery here today, so I have to leave my door open. So you may hear the 1980s obscene breather come in the room. That would be my oldest Dane, who is scared to death of storms and apparently when it rains hard, because I've had her shadow all day. Good morning, Wendy. How you doing? What up, Dill? You just reminded me that I have to announce Dill's baby shower is Saturday. I will not be here Friday because she has asked me to help her get the final things ready for her shower. Sorry, Chris, you guys are putting stuff up too fast. I can't. Ugh. That's all I got to say. I am working on a couple of things to come to do in the future. I'm not going to tell what they are. Gabby knows one of them because it was her idea. So, but I don't want anybody to poach it, and trust me, somebody would. So I'm going to work on those. And then when hopefully I can make those things happen and come together, and then we'll do those. I think they'll be really fun and interesting. So that's all I've got there. Today, I don't got Jack this morning. I have, if you're not familiar with him, I have Judge Simpson. He is a judge in Michigan. One of my favorites. He gives me faith in judges, that there's good ones out there. He's like Judge Boyd, the man version of Judge Boyd. He doesn't take any crap. But he's funny. His courtroom is very laid back, but you better not kind of cross those lines. So I don't know if he likes Duff beer. I would say, I don't know. My guess would be he doesn't drink at all, or he maybe likes his bourbon, maybe whiskey. What's the difference? I don't know. But those are my guesses. I could see him drink a beer. But anyway, he had an attorney in his courtroom and he was not happy with her. And she, well, I don't want to say. So if you guys want to watch her hearing, it was a contempt hearing. I've never seen one. And it's very rare that you ever see attorneys get sanctioned or anything ever happens to them when they mess up and do something they shouldn't. I've seen in the YNW Melly trial that's going on, I don't know where it's even at in Florida, what the status is. Um, that prosecutor there, she had a Brady violation, and it was a bad one. And all the judge did was kick her off the case. That's it. And then the next prosecutor that came in, and this was just from what I was hearing. Again, I've not looked at this because that trial, the first one ended in a mistrial. Um, it's ridiculous. The detectives in there, he one detective, he was like came in a full face mask and couldn't, you know, didn't want to show the jury because he worked in the gang unit and blah 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 blah. And the defense comes in and they hold up their phone and they say, "Is this your wife?" And he says, "Yes." And he said, "Is this her Cash App profile picture?" And he was so mad. He goes, "Is that you in there?" Because those are public. So he was giving some juror PTSD because she had watched a family member get held up by somebody in a similar mask. And then he's like, "I have to hide myself." And then the defense just absolutely torched him on it. So the judge made him take his mask off. But then Court TV was like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to show you." So that was one weird thing that happened in that trial. And then the other weird thing that happened in that trial was they found new evidence in the car where the crime allegedly took place. They find new, um, I don't know if it was DNA or blood evidence or both, 5 or 6 years later. Like, give me a break. You just, that's ridiculous. You guys have had this young man in jail for 4 years at this point. I'm not sure how long he's been there now, waiting for his other trial to happen. And so you have those two detectives, you have the prosecutor get kicked off the retrial. The new prosecutor that comes on the retrial, she brings in a prison snitch from a trial that she did that got another group of people convicted. So I'm like, well, that's convenient. You just, so what Ty says about prison prison snitches kind of makes sense because he's obviously a prison snitch for lots of things. Hey, Adair. Whoop. Oh, hey, Roseanne, you snuck in on me. How you doing, Adair? Hope you are doing well. Hope you didn't get any storms over the weekend. Don't think I heard Illinois got any bad storms. And hey, Roseanne, how you doing? So that's, I bring up that YNW Melly trial. That the first trial happened a while ago, back in the fall. I have no idea what's going on with the second trial because last I heard they were doing jury selection. It was going to take a month, and something happened in that, and they had to dismiss the whole pool of the jury pool, and bring a whole nother pool in. And I quit paying attention. Like, kid is not going to get a fair trial. It's all I got. So we can watch these two hearings. Oh, the other hearing I have from Judge Simpson is two uh, soft sits. And Judge Simpson's face, gotta somehow. When he takes the bench and he knows what's coming, tells you everything you need to know, and he just is already like, oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with these two men again. So it's kind of interesting to listen to them kind of run their mouths a little bit. So we can watch those two things. They're not long. I haven't checked in on the Karen Reed trial at all with opening statements there. I have no idea how long those are going to go. I'm just personally not going to have time to cover that trial. So I will not be covering that trial. I think it's going to be very long, too. And then I don't know how long Katrina Mendoza's sentencing will take. I do believe that she has family members. Well, I don't think they call her family anymore, but they, Mercedes family members that are coming to speak at her hearing. They did a news report down there with the local news. They were not happy that Katrina got a plea deal. They were not asked about giving Katrina a plea deal, and they don't think she should have ever had one or been offered one. So there is that. And so who knows what they're going to say. And you know what, Roseanne, I haven't followed a lot of it lately. I followed it a while ago. It just sounds like a mess. I and it's very divisive from what I have read with each side. I don't think I haven't seen anybody who's middle ground there at all. So I don't know. I've been watching. Remember that Judge McBurney in Georgia? We've watched like one day of trial with him. He's the one that he's super loud into his mic, like he sounds like he's eating it. Then you can't really hear everybody else. He's doing a weird trial right now. So you have two defendants again. One's representing himself. Yikes. If we would have caught that on the first day, I would have I would have continued watching it. But it's on day 5 now, and I think had the guy that chose to represent himself chose not to represent himself, they may have stood a chance because nobody has placed them. Every witness they had when the defense attorney for one witness and then the guy representing himself, every time they ask, did you see us? No. Did you hear our names? No. Like, oh. Stormy, she does not stream all her cases. I check her unless I just am horrible at checking her feed at the time she's not streaming because I check her feed all the time to see if there's anything there. I've thought about I don't know when I can do this because it will take a very, very, very long time to do and get through. Because I know you want to watch the Daryl Brooks trial. I thought about doing a soft sit Saturday thing and just do his trial. That trial goes 6 weeks. So it would take a long time to get through it. But I know not all of you have seen it. It is insane. He is insane. So I thought about doing that. I may not be able to do that until fall when I don't have to mow my grass anymore because because there's that. So I thought about doing that. That's kind of just in the back of my mind uh, to maybe do and to see if you guys were even interested in something like that. All right. If you guys are not familiar with Judge Simpson, he's amazing. I was scared of him at first. Yes, subject matter jurisdiction. I was listening to Judge Simpson this morning, and he told somebody, I don't have subject matter jurisdiction over this. I was like, no, don't tell anybody that ever. Ever. Okay, and that was my other fear, Stormy, is that Saturdays would be iffy for you. So we'll just we'll just hold on to it for right now. Yes, Gabby's gonna say, I'll watch whatever you put up. Yes. Yes, I saw that and I learned. I learned a lot between chemical and physical castration. I did not know that chemical, that you had to keep taking the injections for life, even if you would get out. And if that was ordered for you, then you had to keep doing that. And you also then had to test negative for testosterone because apparently, according to this doctor that was on there, testosterone can counteract whatever chemical it is they use. So I'm like, okay, I had no idea. And then he was describing physical castration. I'm like, I did not know what that meant. It doesn't mean as much as I thought it did, but it is the removal of two things. You can guess what they are, not the main thing. But I'm going to say the main thing probably doesn't work then when the two things are gone. So, yeah. I bet you we saw the same thing. I almost saved it to play and I thought, oh, that might be kind of pushing their news. They can play it. I'm not. So that might be pushing the YouTube boundaries there. I don't want to. So that's what it is. Pretty much. That's a great way to put it. And if he did what they say he did, I'm not sorry about it. You don't mess with kids. But they better be 100% sure that he did what they're saying he did. If you're gonna do that, either one. So I don't know. It was weird. Thank you, Roseanne. I was figuring it wouldn't work either way, but I didn't know you could counteract one with testosterone. Makes sense. So, yeah. What time are Okay, so this one is the two sob sets that showed up. This was the 11th of April, so it was a little bit ago. It still doesn't matter. These guys are timeless. They age well because they don't ever change and they say the same things repeatedly. But you can see he already has his brow is furrowed already. And he's just not looking forward to what is coming because he knows the ridiculousness of what is coming. Also, if you hear any noises, my dog is snoring very loudly. It's not my stomach, not yet. The audio.
Ready.
They're waiting to bring the guy in until Simpson doesn't even want to call the case. So he'll be with the
Court does call the case. The people of the state of Michigan versus Cody Lee Jolly.
There he is.
We're actually set for, what are we set for? Well, we're set for PCC. All right, state your name, sir.
Cody Lee Jolly.
All right. Mr. Jolly, are you still intending upon representing yourself? All right. I do have to apprise you that in this matter, you were charged with 2 offenses versus criminal sexual conduct in the 4th degree. Well, 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct in the 4th degree. You understand the nature of those charges? You understand the allegations as explained to you during the course of the arraignment in these cases? Okay.
Yeah.
The maximum penalty, those are both high court misdemeanors punishable by up to 2 years incarceration, $500 fine plus court cost mandatory STD testing. You understand that, sir?
Yeah.
All right. You understand that there can be great peril in attempting to try to represent yourself in a criminal matter of this nature? And you understand that the court would hold you to the same standards as I would any licensed attorney in terms of court rules and in terms of court procedure. You understand that? You understand that the court is not going to try to assist you or help you out in any way? All right. And you understand also, sir, that if you are indigent and cannot afford to hire an attorney, that you would be afforded counsel and could request counsel at any particular time. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So what are we going to do in this case?
Your Honor, I'm covering this case for Ms. Reiser today. She did provide me with the outstanding CD of discovery for the defendant. I understand that the police report has already been sent out to him by mail. The CD provided to the jail staff.
Yeah.
If the answer is no, I don't know how else. Okay. Is that acceptable? Is that okay with you guys? Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
So that's everything we have.
All right. That's all discovery. Sir, what did you want to do next on this case?
Before I start the trial.
Well, you understand that the next step is not that of a trial?
Sorry, I can't move those. I was trying to.
Is this pre-trial?
Oh, okay.
I understand this is pre-trial and we're on the trial.
Mr. Jolly, do you really wish to represent yourself in this matter? I'm a little bit concerned because you don't. Well, but that's not how it works. Okay? That's what concerns me. You're charged with a high court misdemeanor. Okay? The next step is that we're at a probable cause conference. The next step is a preliminary examination. Okay? And then if you're bound over, then you're going to go through that process once again on the circuit court level.
Okay.
You follow that? Okay, so now understanding that that's a basic procedure, what do you want to do?
Just move forward and just not guilty. Basically, work preliminary examinations. Okay. I have this matter I'm in custody right now. And I was hoping to sell it to Salt. Right?
So you want it, you got a copy of the police report, right?
I got the discovery. It was emailed.
Okay. So you want a preliminary examination in this matter?
If that's the next step to move on to trial, then I'm trying to get the trial done as fast as possible, but if the preliminary examination goes before that.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so I take it back. I don't know that this guy's a soft sit. I think he just wants to represent himself. Next dude that's coming up, definitely soft sit. He is sitting back and behind the prosecutor table, the state table, in the yellow, kind of leaned back on the benches back there. He's coming up next after this dude argues with Judge Simpson.
All right. I know, but if it has to break, we just have to break.
Yes, sir.
All right. Set preliminary examination for April 23rd.
Ooh, I need to find that.
2024, 9 a.m. That will be before me. That's in person.
In this matter, the prosecutor goes in.
Pardon?
It's, the other day I went to the arraignment. I was hoping that to get released, but there was, I had to come here first. Can I get released through this?
What do you mean? You
He was arrested. My office had a new warrant request for him from the University of Michigan. It was for trespass and for violating the conditions of Your Honor's bond and that you said in this file. He has historically been trespassed from the University of Michigan libraries numerous times. He was again there, which is where he was.
Nice, yeah.
5th, 2024. He was publicly looking at inappropriate photos of women in the school library, and other people were able to see what he was doing. He was reported when the police came. They recognized him. They recognized him as the person that they had trespassed times. The report indicates that his shirt was open, exposing his chest, and that his pants were pulled down, but that his genitalias were not exposed as far as they saw. Certainly this is the CSC. He's out on bond in the CSC case while he's engaging in this behavior. At the very least, the ongoing trespass in violation of his bond, given that he's committing a new crime while he's out on bond, and not turning behavior in a public place, in a place he's in trespass. My office denied the warrant request and essentially turned to this case and for us to move forward with a violation here instead.
All right, sir, you are entitled to a hearing regarding a bond violation on this matter. Did you want to have a hearing on that? Did you want to admit the violation, or did you want to deny it? What do you wish to do?
To admit the violation was what again? I'm sorry. The violation was because when I got here, they told me that everything was, they said that it was, when they came out and gave me the trespass, when I got here, they said that the process, trespasses and stuff, and they weren't worried about it. It wasn't.
Well, they weren't worried about it from the standpoint of new charges.
Okay, yeah.
But my understanding is that the prosecutor doesn't want you released because the conduct that's alleged to have occurred is a violation of the condition of bond on this case.
Yeah, there was nothing inappropriate besides being in the library. Nothing weird in the library. I have no idea. But yeah, it wasn't.
But you weren't supposed to be back on the property.
That's what they said. I guess that was suspended from this.
Do you want a hearing on it? Or are you going to admit to the violation? What are you going to do? You're entitled also, sir, to have a representation of an attorney for a bond violation here.
But I mean, if it's not a new charge, I admit that I was trespassed. That I was probably trespassing there. I was hoping to get out of jail for days.
Well, I need you to understand that I'm not agreeing that you're going to get out of jail at all. Whether you admit it, do whatever. I'm not.
Right.
Well, you just admitted to the violation. That's why I'm worried about you not having an attorney. Just you admit to the violation of being on University of Michigan property, correct? Okay, so that's why I'm worried about you not being represented by an attorney. Because that's a violation of the bond conditions that I set in the case involving the criminal sexual conduct.
I've never been there there before, so I wasn't aware that it was, that I wasn't allowed to be involved by it. I've never been in the building before.
Sir, did you want a hearing on the bond violations? Because I'm gonna take into account everything that they're indicating, that you were trespassing and what was in there. Do you want a hearing on that?
Yes,
Do you want an attorney to assist you regarding that hearing on the bond violation?
I think I'm okay. I just bond and stuff, we can get it heard.
I love how the judge drops his head.
I've done up 10 days in jail already. And
Where are you coming up with this 10 days in jail?
just got to get out.
Yeah, but what do you mean I've done my 10 days?
I've been 10 days so far, and I've not actually had charged. I've been charged with these 2 counts that are here, but I've not actually committed the offense.
The judge is like, my brain hurts from you, sir.
Sir, you understand that the criminal charges that are here, that your release on those criminal charges, there were certain conditions regarding your release.
Right, so the tether.
Correct. In certain places you couldn't go, you couldn't leave the state of Michigan, no alcohol, all of that stuff, right?
Best I can. I've been 2 months without a problem. Best I can.
Okay, but now I have these new, I have a trespassing, which is a violation of the conditional, your release. And I could, if there's a violation of the conditions of your release, I could certainly let you out. I also could just hold you until this matter gets resolved. You understand that? And now you want a hearing on that. And that's fine. I don't have a problem if you have one, you're gonna have a hearing on it. But then the issue becomes, are you gonna try to handle this hearing yourself? Or are you gonna want an attorney to assist you with that? I understand that you want to move forward, but there's gonna be a hearing that's going to determine whether or not you're in custody.
Take option 2.
Pardon? Well, I haven't set a date. I'm trying to figure out how you want to proceed on it.
Like I said, I'm just doing my best to live my.
Sir, I understand all of that. Listen closely to my question. This hearing on the conditional bond violation could determine whether or not you're in custody or you're released with other conditions or not, pending the further proceedings in this case. Bottom line, I could come to the decision, okay, well, I'm gonna let him out, put conditions on you and you walk out. Or I could come to the decision, no, he's gonna be held on this case. I'll give him a bond of some type, but he's gonna be held. Okay, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'd be held. That's what's at stake.
Yeah, just hope the hours is last. So I just like to move forward.
Well, I understand that, but follow what I'm saying to you.
He can't.
You say you want a hearing. My question to you is, are you going to try to do this hearing yourself? Where one side of it, you might get released, the other side of it is you might be locked up for the remainder of this case. Do you want to try to do that yourself, or do you want the assistance of an attorney to help you through that process?
I think I just hope that just get out of fast.
Just answer my question. You're gonna handle it yourself.
that everything.
Okay, but you're going to handle it yourself.
Like he was handling it in the library, Judge? I think he was handling himself there too. Sorry, couldn't resist.
How soon could we have
That was loud.
witnesses available for a bond violation here?
Should I apologize?
almost
No, it's okay.
Are you thinking like a week? Is that what you mean?
I'm thinking sometime next week, and then, because the following week is his, what,
Sorry.
So we would have Tuesday morning available,
the
but,
16th.
but he's in custody, so I would do that.
I couldn't help it,
Because that's
Stormy.
really, he's in custody. Once we did it.
What, I got stuff Tuesday afternoon.
You
Oh,
know, it's not back at 1, which is small, so you can do it at 2.
You know, I have no
I
idea what
could,
goes
I
through my
could do it
mind
at 2
sometimes,
o'clock
but I
on
can't say.
Tuesday, the 16th.
It's a U of M police officer, so I can email him, 2 U of M police officers, so I can email them and see if one or both of them can be there on that date.
Okay, what I'll do, I'll just set it. If there becomes a problem, we'll communicate with the defendant as well as you, just try to arrange a different time. So set a bond violation hearing, April 16th,
I gotta find these.
2024 at 2 p.m.
Mhm.
At 2 p.m. There anything further, sir?
Just say no.
With the bond, yeah, that'll all be discussed as part of the tender division. Because this time, this will be 10 days, it'll be like 15 days, and by the time that happens. I was hoping that would count for something, as far as the conditions of my bond. And I can't afford cash bonds, or something, right, be out on, maybe sign up, got it.
I don't know what you're asking me.
The tether situation to be addressed on the same day.
I'm going to address everything on any day that you appear. So if the tether is part of the condition of your bond, which at this point you're in violation of, I've set a hearing for the 16th to determine whether or not there was a violation. But the allegations are there that there was a violation. The following week, you're set for preliminary examination on the charges. Okay, so all right. I'm going to assume that there's nothing else. Bond will remain revoked. Thank you.
I love the judge's face. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, the best is coming up. Poor defense attorney's like, whew, please don't put me on
Let's
that.
call the case, People State of Michigan versus Tariq Day.
Michigan Atra, Senior Assistant Prosecuting Attorney for the people.
I can't help it. You got to watch his expressions. He'll need one.
What's your name?
Tariq Samar Tariq Day, the executive of the Tariq Samar Tariq Day Living Trust. Glad owner Tariq Day, Wilson Estate.
Sir, you indicated that you wish to represent yourself on this matter.
Yes,
All right, you understand at your arraignment, you were given the charges that were have been filed against you?
I was given a charge. So if there were any additional, I was not given those charges. The only charge I got was a fleeing and eluding,
Fleeing and eluding third degree.
third degree, correct. And if anything else was tallied onto that, then I was not told.
I have one charge.
Okay.
That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and $1,000 fine plus court costs. The Secretary of State would be required upon your conviction to suspend your license for a period of 1 year. You understand that, sir?
I do, but I have some questions.
As soon as I get through this, you have indicated that you wish to represent yourself. I have to advise you that there are some dangers in you representing yourself. You understand that, sir?
I do comprehend.
And you understand
You know what one of those dangers are, sir? You yourself are the danger. You can always tell this offset when they're like, I represent the entity, the estate of blah 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 blah. That's not my name.
that if you proceed to represent yourself, that the court is not going to assist you to understand the procedures or anything regarding the court proceeding, that you will be responsible for that, and I will be holding you to the same standard that I would be holding the attorneys in the room in terms of even ruling on evidence or anything along those lines in regard to the procedure and the process. You understand that, sir?
Correct, I comprehend.
All right. You also, so I will ask you again, do you still continue to wish to represent yourself in this matter?
Yes, I will be defending myself.
You understand also, sir, that should you change your mind and could not afford to hire an attorney and wish to be represented by an attorney, the court would consider making sure that you are afforded counsel. You understand that?
I comprehend.
I comprehend.
How do you wish to proceed on this matter, sir?
First, I want to like an oral motion for dismissal based on the fact of the lack of probable cause and also the lack of a personal and subject matter jurisdiction based on the fact that this is a trust matter from the name to the private conveyance that was stolen by the third party Wall Street Towing and impounded on the colorful law actions of Officer Trowbridge of the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department. Also, I have not been able to, as of Constitution Amendment 6, being able to face my accuser. With the state of Michigan being a fictitious entity and there's no injured party, there's no crime that has been committed. And again, to the probable cause of the initial stop and the arrest cannot be proven. There was no probable cause for the arrest or stop. There was no warrant on hand for the arresting officer to conduct an arrest. And even more so, again, as I stated, this is trust property, so this court doesn't have jurisdiction to adjudicate over the foreign trust.
Done.
Done.
Finished?
Oh, no, actually, I was also moving to place you and the clerk as fiduciaries over the trust. And I'll be able to supply you all with the adequate assurance certificate of security to settle and offset the charges.
Well, you will be doing nothing to me and nothing to my clerk. So whatever that motion was, that's denied. As to your other motion regarding all of that, quite frankly, it doesn't make any sense. We haven't even had the probable cause hearing. There will be a determination at the next stage as to whether or not there's probable cause regarding the charges.
I was told this was a probable cause hearing,
This is a probable cause hearing.
so I don't understand what you're saying.
I know you don't understand.
They're not having a probable cause.
Pardon?
You said that no probable cause was had, but then you said that this is a probable cause hearing.
You have not had your preliminary examination, at which there will be a determination as to whether or not there's probable cause to believe that the crime has been committed and you committed it. That is the next stage. That has not happened. So to the extent that your motion is even valid, which I do not believe that it is, and certainly you may raise it at a later date, but to the extent that it's valid, at least at this point, your motion is premature, and therefore your motion is denied. Anything else?
Well, lastly, I want to also put.
I mean, he could have said your motion is premature, just like the last guy was in the library. Sorry. Sorry. I'm bad. I know I am. Sorry. Oh, that was a great pause for Judge Simpson. Hey, at least he didn't say, "Is the state of Michigan here? I can't see it." Oh yeah, they're gonna be pals.
Put on the record, I wasn't able to provide all my exhibits based on, as I told you, I was
You weren't able to do what?
provide my exhibits
To whom?
to the court to help for my defense, the evidences.
The evidences.
You haven't had a hearing yet.
I comprehend it. I'm just saying that I usually have my documents precede me before any hearings take place. And I wasn't able to because I was under the weather. That was my point. So they will be here, if not by the end of the day in the drop-off box, and you'll have them all tomorrow. But you all will be served with the proper documents, and the taxes as well will be filed on the case.
Is he rolling his eyes?
Okay. Anything else?
No, not at this time.
All right, so how would you like to proceed next on this?
I'm entering a plea of demurrer.
Okay, you've already done that.
I've already entered a plea of demurrer.
I don't want to collect
I'm not
him.
sure when that took place other than right now.
That took place on the arraignment on the complaint, sir.
I never pleaded demurrer. There was
You stood mute, you stood demure. You don't even know what that means. You're just using words and have no concept
No.
as to what they mean.
demurrer and mute are two separate things, but that's neither here nor
No, they're not. You have no legal degree. They are not,
no need to.
they are not,
I'm not here.
they are virtually the
Right.
same thing. So where do you wish to proceed now?
As I stated, my
Do
motion,
you wish this set for preliminary examination? Your motions have been
I
denied.
wish for the prosecution to provide the evidence that any of this needs
You
to.
don't have discovery on this case. Is that what you're asking?
I'm not asking for discovery whatsoever.
So what are you asking for?
I stated that the prosecution needs to prove that a crime was committed, and they also need to show and prove that there is an injured party for the crime to have even been committed.
As I've indicated, you will have that hearing. Do you wish to have discovery?
Discovery should be provided regardless. There's no wish about
Do
it.
you wish to have
Discovery should be
discovery?
provided.
Don't play word games with me.
I'm not playing.
Mr. Allen,
Discovery,
not play word games with me. You're playing with the,
I love how his bailiff just moves back there, and the other deputy comes up. It's like, "Oh, you about to go down, taser." I think it was a traffic stop, Stormy. I'm not quite sure what he did. And that was a bad pause for the judge, but I don't know what he did. I just know the judge is done. He's finished. Unlike the last guy.
the wrong judge. You can smile and smirk all you want.
I'm not trying.
I'm giving you your warning. I will ask you again. Do you wish to have discovery provided to you?
Yes,
Do we have copies of discovery available that can be provided to this defendant?
No, Your Honor, I know that the PD was representing this individual. I don't have copies right now.
I got you. Okay. So are there copies of the police report as well as other discovery that's in the hands of the public defender's office?
I do see traffic stops and discovery videos onto our program.
All right. All right, those need to be gotten to the defendant.
All right, so it was traffic stops. That's what I thought it was.
How soon can those be gotten to the defendant?
I can get those in hopefully by tomorrow around.
You have an address for him to send those to him.
Yes, I do. I can confirm it with him too.
All right. What do you have as the address? Do you have an address on, is it share?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Or
Okay, gotcha. All right, you'll make sure that that is sent to him. You also have an email address so that all things can be emailed to him also.
I do, yeah.
All right. Very good. Sir, did you wish to then have another PCC or did you wish to proceed immediately to preliminary examination?
I would like to first have a jurisdiction hearing,
What kind of jurisdiction here?
personal and subject matter.
Okay. Go ahead and raise it because I can deal with it right now. What's the personal jurisdiction?
This court, as well as the state, lacks personal jurisdiction. I'm simply here under threatened arrest and coercion of you, saying that you would help put out a bench warrant for my arrest. The subject matter, in regards to the name as well as the vessel that was used, is again under. It was conveyed and is held and protected within the trust. And according to Article 1, Section 10, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution, there could be no legislative laws that could intercede or to interrupt the functioning of a contract, which the trust is and is properly and the trust is properly functioning at this time. So with that,
All right, so here's what we'll do because you're rambling again.
And he rambles a lot. So, Stormy, soft sits, if they get pulled over in their car, will say that they're traveling, they're not driving, and they call their vehicle the vessel. So that's why he's calling it a vessel. And then there's something I've not understood yet that I've heard them use a lot here lately is conveyance. I heard one say he came into my conveyance. I'm like, what the heck is your conveyance? So I'm not sure on that one. It's just a word. Oh, there's Judge Boyd. A word they're not using correctly, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this is traffic violations from what I've gathered. Because he was traveling in his vessel. And I'm surprised he didn't say anything about his address. It's like, this is where I stay at. I don't live there. I stay there. Yeah, well, if he was traveling in his vessel and this did mean a spaceship, you know Princess Zamuda was on there with them, right? Maybe they can beam back up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm the captain of this vessel now. That was horrible. That was a horrible impression. That was awful. All right.
So what we will do is you will put all of your jurisdictional arguments in writing because you're wrong. So we might as well get it in writing that you're wrong. Because I have subject matter jurisdiction over you and I have personal jurisdiction over you under the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan.
So, boom, there. Bye.
So if you want to put your objections to jurisdiction in writing, you may do so, and then I will address those in due course.
awesome. So that would be the next step, and I can get those in today. And
No, that is not the next step. Either you're going to have another PCC. If you want me to set it for a hearing, I'll set it for a hearing.
yeah, for the jurisdiction.
But I have nothing to set a hearing on. You have not filed anything regarding jurisdiction.
Okay, so for right now, as of this moment, PCC is fine, and then I will file the proper documents for the jurisdictional hearing. Gotcha.
I assume you mean you love Judge Simpson, not vessel traveling dude.
So I'll adjourn the probable cause conference in this case.
He's
April
smiling.
25th, 2024 at 3 p.m.
Is it possible to get another
Is
week
in person.
to provide to accumulate my documents for my defense?
Is there what?
Is it possible to have that extended out another week so that I can provide my?
I'm going to set it 25th.
I mean, I was on the call. I've heard you give multiple councils extended times. So what is the bias?
I have no bias against you, sir.
Well, I'm simply asking for
I'm
a reasonable.
setting the date
So,
of 2 weeks out. You can have your motion together, file your motion. I will be able to address your motion at that time so that we can get this headed to a PC, to a preliminary examination.
just for the record, I'll put it on the record that I object. But under threat, duress, or coercion, again,
Your objection is noted.
right, and under threat and duress and coercion, I'll be here.
Is there anything else?
I said what I need to say.
Anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Bond will continue.
Am I waiting for paperwork or I get it from the front? Am I waiting for paperwork regarding the next?
No, you may leave.
Oh, is
You
it
may
being
leave.
mailed, or I'm trying to figure out how do I get the paperwork?
You can check out at the front counter.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Yeah.
Look at the judge's face.
That it for me, Ann?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone. 14A stands adjourned. Take me off, please.
Take me off. Give me a drink. Do something but save me. I love it. I love him. I know. It's like it's crazy to watch these people. Oh, not only does he think he's great, they listen to this crap and then they think, oh, it's going to work this time. Like, show me. Show me one. I've not ever seen one that it works on, ever. I don't even know. I have nothing. I have nothing. I think my brain broke when I made those other comments. Let's see. Let me put me back here and go grab the other one. So this attorney apparently was supposed to be representing somebody in his courtroom, and she took another position somewhere and didn't do anything to kind of hand off her case, and he's pissed about it. And I was kind of upset with him for a little bit. I'll tell you why at the end. But then I thought about it, and I understood what you got to choose your battles. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, no, 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 Derek. I do not like the yellow guy. I guess I knew what to do, but this is the last thing I have. Because it will take me, I don't know how fast I can find. That guy's name was Tariq, and I don't remember what the first guy's name was. What was that? Tarique? No, Gabby. Gabby, stop it. Bad Gabby. All right. Let's watch this attorney. You tell me what you think about this. If maybe I read it wrong. I don't want to influence you. Well, uh, yeah. Yep. Sometimes I have to keep my thoughts to myself. I really do. Get myself yeeted. Alrighty. I wish I could move these closed captionings, but I cannot. So sorry. All right, here we go. That's her with the
You may be
fiery
seated.
hair.
Court does call the case of the people state of Michigan. Well, this is in Slater matter in regard to counsel. State your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tiffany Hughes, P 79762.
All right. Ms. Hughes, and just so that we're clear on the record, this was a show cause hearing originally set by the court regarding your failure to appear for Mr. Slater's preliminary examination. I further indicated to you that it was troublesome for the court that this got set, and that at the time that it was set, court is aware that you knew that you had taken employment elsewhere, and that Mr. Slater then appeared for a preliminary examination, in effect with not, I won't say without counsel, but without counsel that was ready to proceed regarding his statutory right to have that hearing. Further, that ultimately the court was also informed, at least by Mr. Slater, that he had not been communicated with by you except for the initial time, had not been communicated about your impending departure when he then appeared before the court. Since that time, I will also indicate to you that because of this, and I'm only dealing with the Slater matter, but there were other instances during the same time, one being in 15th District Court, and I believe one being downtown before the Circuit Court, where you were counsel of record and did not appear for those proceedings. I will say also specifically regarding this proceeding, that on the date and time set for the preliminary examination, that this court, through my office, tried to contact you numerous different ways, and we did not receive a response. The ultimate thing in that is that Mr. Slater's preliminary examination, which I believe was ultimately waived, but he did not have his preliminary examination, and his proceeding was delayed by, I believe, approximately 2 weeks. So the court has issued the show cause to see why the court should not hold you in contempt and issue sanctions.
First of all, I can't imagine being a lawyer, not showing up to court, not responding to the court, given no explanation, knowing you know you're not going to be there, and you don't say anything to the judge. You don't hand it off, tell the judge, I need to hand this off. You do nothing. You just leave. If this guy, I don't know if he was, but if he was in jail this time and if he could have gotten out, if she would have been there, and then he gets stuck in there for 2 more weeks, I would be furious if I was him. I don't even know that if he would have any recourse against her at all, probably not. But I was shocked when I was listening to this. I'm like, who does this? How in the world do you have the nerve to just go, nah, bye. I'm out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be you.
So, Your Honor, I did inform like the people that assigned me the case, I did inform them and I let them know what case I had outstanding. I was then contacted by the attorney that would be subbing in for me, and I gave him all of the information. I sent it to an email as soon as he contacted me. It was like almost like simultaneous. So
But what day was that?
the day it was, so they contacted me, like the sub attorney, they contacted me on March
I don't know, Roseanne.
8th, and I sent it on March 8th. Substitution attorney was Bernstein,
Yes.
and I sent him all of the discovery, everything that I had on Slater.
And
And beforehand, I went to the special counsel office and I just gave them a list of everything that I had outstanding. And
but counsel, that your obligations under the court rule are to still appear. I mean, because the preliminary examination said that was on the March 8th. That was a Friday. Preliminary examination was set for that Tuesday for Mr. Slater, and Mr. Slater had not been informed when you were doing all of this.
and then I spoke with, previously before, I spoke with his mother and I informed her, and then I gave her the new attorney's information with Mr. Slater's mother.
That's not Mr. Slater. Shouldn't you have to speak to
Why would on February 29th, you have set this for preliminary examination when you knew that you would not be counsel, that you had accepted other employment?
I thought that another counsel would sub in for me in time. Because like I said, I informed special counsel who assigns this, I informed them, so I thought that another.
On what day did you inform them?
This was February 22nd, I believe, February 22nd, I believe.
Then why do I not receive a motion to withdraw until March 11th?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, you're the one, counsel, you can't just say, I don't know, because you're the one responsible to withdraw from the case. Regardless of the fact that the MAC office is the one that gives your name, it is your obligation. It's not their obligation. You would agree with that. I mean, you're the attorney of record.
Understandable.
But if you,
I would be crying if he was looking at me like that and I was in trouble. I would be crying. I know myself well enough to know. Just take the look. I don't know what the empty chair is thinking, Gabby. Probably like, WTF, woman, what's your problem? And also, glad I'm not sitting in a library. That's what that chair is thinking. Glad I'm a court chair, not a library chair.
knew on the 22nd of February that you were going to be withdrawing from cases. I don't, on this matter, I don't get anything until March.
My apologies. I didn't know, like they said they did all the motions to withdraw for me, so I thought they would have got it sooner. I did inform them
She's
February
making me mad.
22nd, and I thought that substitution counsel would be in before then.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep pausing. You're the attorney. Didn't he just say, you're the attorney? You have to file, I just froze. You have to file the motion to withdraw yourself. And then she comes back and says, I thought they were going to do it for me. Woman, you're making me angry, and I'm not the judge, and I don't even know what the procedure is. But it seems like if a lawyer is going to file a motion, that lawyer needs to file the motion, not 6 lawyers down the street or 6 cubicles over. I don't know what her thing is. I don't know what her office looks like. But she's getting on my nerves. Yes, they are excuses, Chrissy. And yes, Gabby, they don't do things for you. It's not their responsibility to make sure your stuff gets done, lady. I don't know where she was. I don't know where she went, but I kind of feel sorry for anybody that ends up with her. She's very flippant. Just, I don't care. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's just having an attitude because she got caught in something. So that's her defense mechanisms, whatever. But I don't like her. I don't like her attitude.
Ms. Hughes, if that's true, then why on February 29th, this would have been a week after, do you appear and set the case for preliminary examination
Because I
and
thought,
not inform the court, not inform the defendant, not inform anybody that you won't be counsel of record?
again, I thought that it would be substitution counsel, so I really thought that it would be, so a counsel would be substituted in, and that's,
That doesn't even make any sense, Ms. Hughes. If on the 22nd of February, you know, and you say you informed them of that, you appear on the 29th of February, do not do anything to withdraw, do not do anything to place your client in a position where they're not worse off. You indeed, what you do is you set him for preliminary examination at a time you know you're not going to be counsel. So that doesn't even make any, what you're telling me doesn't make any sense. So why didn't you do something on the 29th?
okay, I was still trying to get all of my other ones in order, not just this court, but just all of the other courts that I was trying to tie up those, and ball got dropped.
No, you were in his courtroom on the 29th. Don't ball got dropped. You dropped it.
It doesn't make any sense to me, Ms. Hughes. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt on this, but if you're telling me on the 22nd of February that you knew that you had other employment, that you informed, you're saying at that time, without turning this into a full-blown hearing, but I'll bring them down, that on the 22nd, that you informed the MAC office. You appeared then on Mr. Slater's case on the 29th, set it for preliminary examination, say nothing to the court, nothing to Mr. Slater or anyone that you will not be the one handling the preliminary examination. You are still the attorney of record. The 12th comes along because that's the date it got set for. For March 12th, you do not appear on March 12th. We sent you various communications during that day. You didn't appear before the court on the 12th and just did nothing. In fact, counsel, you don't know on the 12th that other counsel has been appointed to represent him.
I did know on the 12th, I sent the other counsel the info on the A. So it was my understanding that was his other counsel. If he communicated to me and asked me for the discovery,
You are not released from an obligation until the court releases you. You do know that, don't you?
Yes, and I thought that with him calling me and informing me that I was released. My apologies, the ball got dropped.
The ball didn't get dropped. I don't have an order even to sign if I wanted to.
That was the most insincere apology ever. And it was a little condescending. So, you guys, Carmen's area in Texas got a lot of rain overnight. There's a lot of flooding going on down there. So, it's better to be prepared, Carmen. Just have your stuff so you can grab it if you need to. Dog, cat, all their food, papers, whatever. So, if you guys got to grab it and go, grab it and go. And don't try to drive your little car that sits low to the ground through a bunch of crap. You've got Cheyenne's truck. So, yes, they are. I told her I don't know what's worse, flooding or is it a tornado? But let me know what happens. But yeah, anyway, this woman and her apology. I really, really, really was waiting for the judge just to absolutely smoke her. But now I understand why he didn't. Oh, yeah. Keep me informed on that too. Oh, they won't forget the tortoise. They used to have two, but they're old. One passed away. I think before the move, one passed away.
But I don't even get an order to me that I eventually signed until, which is your obligation to withdraw, not the MAC office obligation to withdraw. I don't get an order until the 12th, the date of his prelim. And then they have to adjourn the proceeding out. Anything else you want to say?
No,
Look at her. She don't even care. She's just digging through her bag.
And Ms. Hughes, I'm just going to let you know, I don't appreciate also that when my staff reaches out to you, when this court reaches out to you, irrespective of anybody else, we got no response from you. None. We sent emails, we made phone calls.
I didn't
We-
get a phone call.
We did not get a response.
Look at her. She does not care. She couldn't put her makeup on. Judge, put her in jail. I wish. Oh, there's, sorry, trolls under the bridge. I thought it was going to be my dog, but it's me. She's very rude. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Look at her. It's bugging me that she's just digging in her purse and digging in her bag. Like, put some lipstick on or something. Because she's not even looking to see, oh, look, I have these papers.
Anything else you want to pay? I was trying to find a way where this was not something that I should sanction misuse, but I don't see that. Anything else you want to say?
Nothing further.
I'm going to sanction you to $500. That's to be paid to the court. When can you get that paid to the court?
In about 2 months.
2
Pardon?
months.
I'm gonna need about 2 months.
I'd say too bad.
Is that something I can pay online or?
You'll have to ask the clerks up front.
I don't know. That's just what she's saying is going to take her to pay that. I don't know if she's a public
That's to be
defender.
paid
I don't,
by
which-
June 21st, 2024. Thank you.
he just looks so disappointed and sad. She's a huge jerk. She is a humongous jerk. I was really, really hoping he was going to put her in jail because she deserved to do some time. I hope she's not a public defender. I don't know what the MAC office is, if that's the like like Michigan. The only thing I could come up with was Michigan Assistant of Counsel. Let's see if I can find it on my phone. You guys will probably find it faster than me. Probably because I can't type either. Yeah, if she's a public defender, I feel bad for those people. I'm pretty sure it's not the Michigan Aeronautics Commission. There's the Michigan Association of Counties. I don't know. Municipal Advisory Council. That's probably what it was. Maybe? No. I don't know. I don't know. But she's ridiculous. Michigan Advisor Council? I wasn't. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I feel sorry for that guy. Guy. Because I don't know if he had to stay in jail 11 more days or 2 more weeks or whatever. Yep. I think you should, yeah. 2 week in jail and pay $500. Yep. I have never seen anything like that ever. I've seen lawyers, obviously, we've seen lawyers get snippy with judges, but to just be so don't care about it. I got it, Carmen. I don't understand that at all. Here, Carmen, let me get what she sent. I want to save it to my phone. Me and tech. Me and tech. Bad as a lawyer. So the funny thing is, watching Judge Simpson with those people that want to represent themselves, he's like, I'm not going to help you. The one in Georgia with Judge McBurney, the loud judge, he's kind of helping. Now, this guy, I think he just chose to represent himself. He's not said anything that makes him sound like soft sit like that other guy. He's not saying anything about the trust. Although he doesn't want to be called by his name, so that is a little soft sit. He wants the judge to call him the accused. I'm like, why do you want the jury to hear that over and over and over when you come up to question somebody? All right, does the accused have any questions? I would just be like, call me by my name. So the judge struggles calling him that. The judge also struggles not calling him. Sometimes he'll call him the defendant. But he helps him. Like if he can't kind of come up with the question, or if he's just not doing the question the way that it should, and he's just gonna keep getting objections to it, he'll kind of just ask the question. Or if he's not clear about what are you asking, because most of the time he's not asking anything. he's not asking anything that means anything because he doesn't know how to ask the question. Carmen, I'm trying to find it. But you know, I'm not old enough to be a boomer. But I'm pretty darn close. Nope, it's not there. Dang it. Talk amongst yourself. It's very humid here too, Gabby. It's like ridiculous. There's so much moisture. That ought to make Carmen's day. She loves that word. Hang on. I'm trying to find you a picture of some. Carmen, how close is that water to your house? Here's the dumb thing. I'm usually really good at remembering how to do this. And then when I don't do it, there it is. For a while, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. That is not very far, but that can mean a lot between having to get evacuated and not. Okay, stop. While we're waiting for me to do things on the internet, I think most of you are here when I started, but Friday I will not be doing the stream Friday because of the baby shower. I'm about to hold my phone up to the camera. There it is. Look at me. I just lost it. What? Oh, maybe it went there. Don't look at me. There it is. I will eventually get there. I did not yet. My dog. Oh my gosh. I have not. Again. I will. I will. Oh my gosh. My dog was rude. I've been busy. Chrissy, I spent Saturday running 2% around. Yesterday, I had to get my stuff done. I have not had time. Also, I got it right here. There you go. I can't, that's as, you can see it, I guess. She said that was a road. So that's a lot of water because if you look back here, look back there, there's like some white rapids going on coming down the hill. Like how? So yeah. So she said that's a mile from her house. Yep, that's a lot. That's a lot of water. Water is just so damaging too. Like ridiculous. You should not be in things like that, Stormy. That's why they say turn around. Don't drown. Don't drive in that ever. We had Stormy, you're lucky you're alive. Don't do that. Make me use my mom voice because I will. Don't do that. And there it is. Yeah, we have a road. So we live just over the county line. So there's County Line Road. And every once in a while it floods. So they close the gates so that nobody can go. They had to put up gates because people would just keep going down the road when they said it was flooded. Don't go down the road because the river's over it. And last time that it flooded, Carmen told me that somebody went and cut the lock off the gate and opened the gate. And somebody else, it was night and you can't see water at night, drove through and the county had to go rescue them. I'm like, that they're lucky that they did not kill somebody by doing that, because why would you do that? You have to have a sick brain to intentionally want to send somebody into high water. And they'll probably never catch him. All righty. Yeah, Wendy, that's kind of my face too. And then I got mad because, yeah, dummy, don't do that. Your car is low to the ground as it is. And that will just float you away. Then you'll be like the movie It. And we all know how much you love clowns. So you just keep that in mind next time you think you want to drive through water. Yeah, that would be a health code violation. And yeah, he should have closed the store. Yeah, you're gonna hear, hi, Carmen. I can't even say that without saying it in the Nina Cheerios voice. So I won't. I won't say anything. Yes, we all float down here. You'll float too. I did. I'm at 8:29. Yo, did you still get a taco? My husband was telling me he had Taco Bell the night that he thought he was going to have to stay overnight at work because the solar eclipse was supposed to be crazy and then it wasn't, whatever. He said, remember when we used to go there because it was cheap? And he's like, I got 2 tacos and I don't remember what else. And he goes, I didn't even get a drink and it was like $20. I was like, oh no. That's expensive for Taco Bell. We used to go there because we could eat for $5. Yeah. Friday's stream was fun. I had a blast. We had a lot of people in here. Um, it was good. Everybody was in a good mood. It was funny. I mean, obviously, it's not the subject, is it? The subject matter jurisdiction is not funny. Uh, but I had a good time, and I was way more relaxed this time than I was the first time. Uh, and it is, and I think it's because I tried to talk to them. I've we emailed back and forth a couple times before that happened, and so it just makes it easier. And like he said, his my emails are usually long, his are short, but that day, um, or how did that go? His can be longer, mine can be shorter, yeah. But that day, mine was longer because I don't know what I was watching that just had me all like ramped up, whatever. That it was like, if I see one more of these judges freaking do that, you know, like, you know what, Stormy? I'll tell him that because then Dennis Ward can zip it. It's not tainting anything. Yeah, so people aren't just walking around talking about it, Burger King. And he never mentioned what was being said that was tainting anything, who was saying it. He just is mad because I I don't know. He should just go in front of the judge and just be like, "Judge, Ty's being mean to me again." That's all. Just say that. Just like you're telling on him, like Judge's dad, Judge Dad, and just go say they're being mean to me because it's ridiculous. And I totally shut my screen down. Oopsies. All right. I I don't know what else to do. So I don't know where any more soft sits are right off the top of my head. They just pop in every once in a while, and you just like those two did that we watched this morning. I just was listening because I was doing dishes or something. I don't know. And I was like, what are these people? We need to listen to these. I think it was Roseanne had sent oopsies, oopsie, stop it. This woman, um, she's apparently accused of causing a crash or that unalived 2 children at a birthday party. So, second degree unaliving, OWI by liquor causing unaliving, OWI causing serious injury. And she had her arraignment last week. I don't remember what we were watching, but we were finishing something up. So, I don't know if you guys want to watch that real quick. I've not watched it at all. So then it was at a boat club. I assumed, was it by the water? I don't know. No. Did she get out on the arraignment day? I saw her bond was like at $1.5 million, which was crazy to me. That's really high. Oh my gosh. All right, now I have to watch this. That's crazy. I didn't figure she'd get out because her bond was so high. Hang on. Stop. Okay, Carmen. Is this probably gonna make me angry? Alrighty. Boy, that audio sucks. Is that from the thing?
People of the State of Michigan versus Marcella Chidester. Chedester. Case number 241971FY. Names for the record.
Your Honor, Jeff Yorkie on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Bill Colovis, P38434 on Ms. Chester.
I don't even know her name.
Thank you. I'll move Ms. Chedester seated next to you. Today is the time and date set for arraignment pretrial arraignment in this matter. The defendant is charged with count 1 homicide, second degree, maximum penalty life or any term of years. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 769.36 for each death that resulted from the operating a motor vehicle.
Oh, I get your stuff.
Resulted.
That's not my end. That's their end.
DNA upon arrest. Count 2, homicide, second degree, same maximum penalty. Count 3, operating while intoxicated causing death, maximum penalty 15 years, and or $2,500 to $10,000 monetary sanction. Defendant may be convicted for each death arising out of the same transaction. The court may order consecutive sentencing under MCL 269.36. Count 4, operating while intoxicated causing death, same penalty as count 3. Count 5, operating while intoxicated causing serious injury, maximum penalty up to 5 years and or $1,000 to $5,000 monetary sanction, vehicle immobilization. How does the defendant plead?
We stay in mute, Your Honor.
Case has been assigned to Judge Brown. Probable cause conference there, April 30th at 9 a.m. Via Zoom with an exam date of May 6th at 1:30. That will be in person.
That's tomorrow.
Here, Mr. Yorkie.
Your Honor, the people are requesting a $1.5 million bond at this point, along with conditions. It is based, at least in part, on the fact that, as the court has already indicated, the defendant is facing 2 life sentences that could run consecutive to other offenses that are involved in this matter. In addition to that, we believe that the likelihood of conviction is extremely high here. We have ample video evidence showing exactly what happened during this incident. And finally, Judge, the defendant suffers from a very severe substance abuse issue, corroborated by friends and family members, and she creates a very high risk to the public. For all those reasons, we believe that a $1.5 million bond is in order in this particular case.
Your Honor, again, Bill Colovis on behalf of my client. Your Honor, I think the court has served in the judiciary for many years and understands and appreciates that at an arraignment, the client has not been found guilty. We don't have prejudgment penalties. What we do have here is somebody, when looking at bond, any favorable and unfavorable facts. The favorable facts are my client is 66 years of age. My client has no record whatsoever. In fact, she has never even received a traffic ticket of the 50 years of driving.
She went big.
She's better than I am. In 60 years on this earth, she's never had any traffic involvement. She's never had any law enforcement involvement. I think that adds a little credibility to her side of the table. In addition, she's owned her residence, which is about 400 feet from where this took place, for 40 years. She's retired from a position and was living a peaceful life with her husband in retirement. What the prosecutor fails to mention to the court is that she has a history, and even the neighbors in the news media has said that she drives like a little old lady when she drives. You got to drive around her. That in addition, that my client has a history of having seizures. And this history has lasted since last November. It started of a epileptic type seizure in her legs. In fact, that's that day she was treated for it. It's not like her to drive.
Drinking. Yeah, exactly.
She was drinking. If I may continue with all due respect from everyone, a search warrant was executed.
Sorry. If you've got a seizure disorder, you probably shouldn't be driving unless it's under control. Carmen went through that. I hope she doesn't mind me telling, because she started having seizures all of a sudden. She couldn't drive for 6 months. She had to be seizure free for 6 months. She could not drive at all. Period. If she got caught driving, they would have taken her license. The doctor would have been like, that's it. I told you not to drive. Your license is gone. So if that's where this woman was at, and maybe it's different in different states, doesn't seem like it should be. If that's true, sir, she shouldn't have been driving unless they were under control. Knock on wood, Carmen hasn't had a seizure for I don't even know how long now. So she can drive. But if what he's saying was true, and I know you guys, I know you're saying she was hammered, and I understand that. I'm just pointing out his argument is stupid. Because she shouldn't be driving. I appreciate that. So will Carmen. Yeah. Ugh. I didn't know you could have seizures in your legs. I have restless leg syndrome. Is that the same thing? But it's only at night, and I take stuff for it that I don't drive after I take it because it makes me sleepy. I don't know. I'm already angry at this. I know I'm the one usually telling you guys they got to present a defense. And this one's already made me mad. And you're right, Gabby. The judge letting these extra comments come in is not good. That's not a good look for the judge. So I'm glad he's not going to be the judge. You should control your courtroom. That doesn't fly. All right, my rant is over.
At the bar that was allegedly where she was at. The bar showed that she had one glass of wine 4 hours prior to 3 o'clock, between 11 and 12, and a bowl of chili. That was confirmed with a search warrant of what the receipt was. In addition, that no doctor told her not to drive. The doctor told her not to drive for a number of months, very few months, and then she could operate a vehicle. About a month prior to this accident, Your Honor, because I want the court, I'm not doing a trial today, but I want the court to know everything in setting the bond, that this is not a monster. It's horrible what happened. Absolutely horrible. I have 2 children. It's absolutely horrible. But some things we don't have control over. If I have a heart attack at my age, I don't have control over it if I'm operating a vehicle and hit somebody. So, Your Honor, the 1.5 million in the murder charge, I don't know where that's coming from, but they have to prove it. And respectfully, Your Honor, we would ask for $100,000 cash or surety, 10%. She can have, the court can order home confinement. Police have never been called to her home. She doesn't even have a speeding ticket if there's such a substance abuse at 66 years of age. So we're asking for home confinement along with 100,000, 10% cash or surety. In addition, she can have an alcohol monitor. Any violation whatsoever, bond revoked. But she gets medical treatment. Absolutely. In fact, all the prescriptions she's on at the jail, which are numerous because of the paralysis she gets once in a while in her legs. And it's all documented. And I'll bring forward the medical records. So we're burning somebody at the stake by just craziness, just crazy words being that because there's been deaths, which is horrible, absolutely horrible. We have to go back and say, how did it happen? If me, Bill Clovis, has a heart attack on the freeway and I hit somebody changing a tire, I can't be liable in today's society.
Yeah, but your ass wasn't drunk and you did pregnancy burns and shit, so it's 2 different things.
Again, let me repeat. They did a search warrant and it showed 1 glass of wine 4 hours prior. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, I respond, Judge. Your Honor.
How do you keep going? Not hitting no break or turn.
Because sometimes you have a seizure and your legs freezes up.
Your Honor, there is no indication whatsoever in any of the evidence that we have uncovered in this case that the defendant suffered from a seizure at the time of this incident. In fact, quite the opposite. A very long investigation has occurred. There was a preliminary breath test done, which indicated that her blood alcohol level was significantly over the legal limit. What's more is based on, she indicated herself that she had some seizure issues and she was on some medication and that she wasn't supposed to be drinking, but admitted that she had been drinking that day. So she is a danger to this community. And that is illustrated no clearer than the 2 dead children that she is directly responsible for. A $1.5 million bond in this case is a gift, and that's what I'm asking the court to consider.
How do you save the community from
The rumors are that she drinks in her car in parking lot.
Excuse me, rumors. Hopefully they don't have rumors on any of the people here today.
In the state of Michigan, if you have a seizure,
Your Honor, may I continue?
Yes.
Thank you.
she took my 2 grandbabies.
Let's start,
He almost
removing
killed
people
3 of
from
mine
the
on the
Zoom
same
room.
day.
Keep getting this interruption.
I don't know if you can mute for right now. Your Honor,
I must
again,
be on
if it's the
Zoom.
safety of the public, there's no history
Thank you,
whatsoever.
Gabby, I was looking
Number
for it.
2 is she can be put on an alcohol tether. Number 3 is she can be put in her home. If she violates her home to go get her mail, she can be picked up and put in without bond. We'll stipulate to that. So, the court's seen many, many people, thousands of people before the court, and it's seen criminal history. We don't even have traffic ticket. It's absolutely horrible, but we're not punishing somebody before they're convicted. Thank you.
Any victims wish to address the board?
Yes, she chose to drink, and those were my grandbabies.
Thank you. Your name,
She
please?
made that choice to go to that car. She chose to drink and drive, and she took my grandbaby from us.
Understood. Your name for the record, ma'am?
My name is Kathy Phillips, and I'm the grandmother of the 2 babies that were killed.
Thank you. Some factors I've considered in setting bond. She has no criminal history, identified criminal history, no incidents of non-appearance.
Your Honor, one of the victims does want to speak, address the court. She may.
She can join the council table. If we could start with your name, ma'am.
My name is Raquel Smothers. I am Mariah's sister. What he had said about getting injections in her legs for something, knowing that with or without drinking, you're still putting people in harm's way because with muscles and everything, you can't control something. Why operate a vehicle knowing you're taking medicine that drinking will affect it? I was there. I seen her. My daughter, my mom, my sister, my nephew from the opposite side of the family, my sister's 3 children. We were supposed to be planning a birthday party for Zane, not a funeral. Knowing you have medical conditions, you should never get behind a wheel whether you are drinking or not. Taking medications, they tell you not to drink, but she still chose to drink. She still chose to get into that vehicle. I will never look at the month of April the same ever again. My birthday was a few days prior. The babies were just at my house. My niece with her flawless curly hair loved to dance. My nephew, he always hated my truck was dirty. I cleaned my truck out just for him. He loved jujitsus. He loved cracking jokes. Eminem was his idol. They walked into that birthday party having a fun time. They were sitting at that table eating. And this woman crashed her car through this building, destroying all of our lives. Not just my family, everyone else that was in that building. My nephew and my sister are still fighting for their lives today. I had to be the one to tell my sister her babies were gone when they removed her ventilator yesterday. She said, "How am I supposed to live without my babies?"
Wait. So the mom of the 2 kids just came off a ventilator and just found out the day before this hearing. Is that correct? Her sister? I don't know if I heard that correctly. How horrible. That's awful. Okay, because I heard 3 were injured, but 2 didn't make it. Wow, that's bad. What's up, Super Son? Came in at a sad point. I don't know why this is super large on my screen, but I'll fix it when it's over.
Nobody should ever have to go to a birthday party thinking that they're gonna die. Medical history or not, every medication tells you not to drink. She knew it. She shouldn't have done it. I had to see my deceased niece and nephew. I had to see their very last moment before their car was removed. I seen it. And my sister can't decide what she wants. And then babies, I can tell you right now, cannot have an open casket. It's a horrible, dramatic thing. I cannot close my eyes at night without seeing the babies and what they look like. No, I'm done.
And she's a known drunk.
To her credit, she does have ties to the community. However,
Can I say something, Your Honor? I'm the brother of the father.
your name, please?
Nicholas Phillips.
All right. Go ahead.
This woman deliberately, without even hitting a break, destroyed my brother's life. Those was his baby. His little girl used to go to his basketball games. And now that little girl is not going to be able to go see it. Their father, because a woman claims to have high community ties to her community, wanted to drive and hit the gas even further when she got to that parking lot and destroyed multiple lives. My brother is in the hospital right now, praying that his little boy comes through, and he still got to tell his son that he lost his sister and brother. How is that right, or how is that even fair? How is it even justified? Because the woman saying that she got some type of medical issue. As my sister said, you take medicine for years. You're an adult. You could read the label. It says do not drink. And you can't sit here and tell me one drink that would do that. You can't. I'm a high educated man. You can't tell me that. And there's no justifying what she did to my family. There's none. This will never, ever be right. There's nothing in this world that anybody can sit here and say, well, she could say it was an accident. That was not an accident. I know what accidents look like. That happens all the time on a freeway. If she was not drunk as people claim it, her house is 3 houses away from what she did. Why didn't she just go home? Why did she? It's right there. 3 houses away from where she did that stuff that she did to my brother's family. 3 houses. Why didn't she go home?
Thank you.
So you as the defender, you should feel ashamed for even trying to stick up for only one drink. One drink don't do that, sir. It never will. Thank you, Your Honor.
Can I say something?
Your name, please?
Rosemary Stitt.
Go ahead.
I drove there. My 3 children were there. And whether you're having a seizure or not, that was intentional. You couldn't drive the way that those roads bend and the way that you drive in there. There is no way that that woman was not conscious in turning that vehicle. She aimed it right there, right at the bar where probably her husband should have been sitting. I don't know what her intentions were, but I can tell you it was in purpose and it was intentional. You can tell. We all know it.
Thank you.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Your name, please?
My name is Joshua Stiff. So I'm a member of the boat club. I've been a member for many years, and I'm familiar with Marcella. And during my 10 years of being a member of the boat club, well, most of the time I've seen her, she's been highly intoxicated, and I've watched people try to walk her out the door dozens and dozens of times. You know, one of the things that aren't brought up here is the fact that she hit a vehicle down the road and a tree down the road. I believe that that it wasn't intentional, but I do believe that it was a situation where she was trying to flee and run from what she had just done down the road. She shouldn't have been driving. And everybody knew that, right? Everybody, you're a member of the boat club, you know this lady shouldn't be driving. And I believe she was fleeing that scene. And there's a speed bump before you enter the parking lot to the boat club, as well as like a runoff ditch that you got to pass over with your vehicle. We all drive 10 miles an hour through that area because of these, you know, and it's a narrow road. But I believe that she was fleeing from hitting the truck so that she wouldn't get caught drunk driving. And in doing so, hit the speed bump as well as the little ditch that's 30 feet past that and lost control of her vehicle. So I don't believe it's intentional, but I do believe that, and I know that she drinks a lot and she, you know, should never get behind the wheel. And if you're under that much medicine as her attorney states, then even one glass of wine could potentially, you know, do you like this. And not only that, is a lot of medications, you know, you're not supposed to drive on, right? So, you know, whether it's the alcohol or the medication, or it's neither, this lady should never be behind the wheel. We've watched her, you know, take baby steps to get out of the place that she could barely walk, right? Let alone get behind a wheel. And you know, for such a frail lady to cause such devastation in her car, I think that I think that she shouldn't be freed on bond because of this. You know, I believe it's decades of her drunk driving that just caught up to her, is what I believe. And decades of her driving under the influence of whether it be pills or alcohol. And I would point towards alcohol from my experience of knowing you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I went over some of the issues that impact my decision in setting bond. High on that list is the fact that she's facing 2 life sentences, 2 15-year sentences, and 4 5-year sentences. Therefore, I find reason bond to be 1.5 million with the following conditions. It will be reporting to pretrial services. The defendant is to appear at for examination, arraignment, trial, sentence, and any time directed by any court, by any judgment issued by any court. Do not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. Do not commit any crime allowed on bond.
Oh, I thought this was in
Notify
Wisconsin.
court in writing of any change of address or telephone number. No use of alcohol or any illegal controlled substances. Submit to substance abuse testing and monitoring, including SCRAM tether and GPS tether. Do not purchase or possess a firearm or other dangerous weapon. forfeit any passport and not operate a motor vehicle while on bond.
Your Honor, if I may. Thank you, Judge. The 1.5 million, will they be cash, surety, or 10%?
Cash or
10% at all?
surety.
She has no history whatsoever, Your Honor.
Between her and the surety. I believe the surety would typically take 10% of that to post the guarantee.
Okay, all right, thank you.
For some reason, because everything happens in Wisconsin, I thought that was in Wisconsin. I can't imagine being those parents. So I was looking something up because in that trial I was telling you about in Judge McBurney's court, one of the people there brought up the fact that I don't know the medical term for it. So I'm not being, it's called Asian glow because it mostly affects Asians. So I'm not being racist. But he was talking about if he had, he lacks the enzyme to break down alcohol. And doesn't sound like that in this case because this lady has a lot of people that have seen her drinking and drinking a lot. But he would say if he even took a drink of something, he was done. Like he was very, very intoxicated at that point because he couldn't break it down. So I kept thinking, well, does she have this and not know that she has this? I'd never heard of it, but I was looking it up. And because I thought maybe the other guy was just being stupid. But no, he would, like he said, if his mom even took a shot, she would get very sick. So I thought maybe she had that in the glass of wine, didn't metabolize because she couldn't. But it doesn't sound like that's the case. Gabby, which one of these should I go to first? Carmen, please don't say Popo. Well, okay. Thank you, Gabby. I don't want to say what I'm thinking then because I don't want to victim shame at anything. But are all these people that are obviously very upset for a very good reason, were they just there as a one-off thing? Do they go there and that's why they wanted to have the party there? Are they also part of the club? Not saying it should happen to them. That sounds horrible. I know. Yeah, I won't say anything else because somebody will take it wrong. Oops. I wanted to click on it, not show it. Why is it not letting me? There it is. I wanted to click on it. Maybe I got to click over here. Lawyers and tech. I'm not a lawyer, but I should have been one, apparently. That's what I say all the time. All right. Which one did you send first? There it is. Funny. Are you sure you want to leave YouTube? As long as it... I'm going to click OK, so hopefully it doesn't shut my stream down. Am I gone? What? Is it gone? Am I gone? George, are you messing with me? Okay. Dang it, George. Scared the crap out of me. You got me. All righty. I'm trying to. No, thanks. Yes. Because it wouldn't be, out of the realm of possibility that I really did that. You got me. You got me.
A total of 3 children and 6 adults were transported. Several others were transported by private vehicle to local hospitals. Unfortunately, in tragedy, 2 of the victims were pronounced deceased at the scene. This includes an 8-year-old female and a 5-year-old male
Oh, don't
who
cry.
are siblings of each other.
As you heard there, yes, tragedy during a child's birthday party. A brother and a sister are dead after a driver crashed into the Swan Boat Club in Newport, Michigan. It's not far from I-75 between Monroe and Detroit. In all, 15 people were injured. First responders took as many as they could, while others were taken by friends or family. The situation continues to develop at this hour. We have live team coverage tonight. We have our Laura Sandlin tracking what we're learning behind the driver of the crash, and also Andre Norrell's first. Now you have the latest update when it comes from the Monroe County Sheriff's. Andre, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Tatiana, like you said, we're here at Swan Boat Club in Newport near Berlin Township. As you can see, crews are kind of cleaning up. They're just actually driving out of the way as we speak, but they're cleaning up the aftermath. I kind of heard them kind of cleaning up earlier today. Now, excuse me, what we know so far that there were 15 victims, like you said, from a car crash earlier. It has been confirmed that 2 children died because of it. Now take a look at some of this video that we took earlier. According to Monroe County, crews were dispatched to the boat club around 3 this afternoon after a car crashed into the building during a young boy's birthday party. 3 children and 6 adults were transported to nearby hospitals with serious life-threatening injuries. Excuse me, and additional victims took themselves to the hospital. The 2 children who died were siblings, an 8-year-old boy, an 8-year-old girl rather, and a 5-year-old boy. No more information on the children has been released yet. We were at a press conference earlier led by Monroe County Sheriff's Department. This is what the sheriff had to say about what the scene was like when crews first arrived. Not only
At
did
this
I
time,
see
investigators are continuing to process evidence at the scene, identify victims, interview witnesses, and reunite family members. The scene was described by the first responders as extremely chaotic, with high level of emotions of those directly involved and those who witnessed this horrific incident.
Now, as you heard, this is still an active investigation. We'll be sure to keep you updated as more information comes into our newsroom, on air and online at WTOL.com. Reporting in Newport, Andre Norrell, WTOL 11 on Fox 36.
Thank you, Andre. Now, Swan Boat Club did post on its Facebook page there was a terrible accident at Swan today with many injuries and much damage to the pavilion. Now, keep in mind all the families and people in attendance are in your prayers. The business says it will be closed tomorrow. And now, of course, we have our Laura Sandlin, who's going to be on scene as well. She has this live video. Laura, what can you tell us about what you saw?
Tatiana, I'm on scene where a 66-year-old woman ran her car into the Swan Boat Club here in Newport, Michigan during a children's birthday party. I spoke with a neighbor who gave us a video showing the woman speeding past his home and into the building. Screaming can be heard after the car stopped 25 feet into the building, according to law enforcement. The neighbor says he went to investigate the crash and immediately called police.
Vehicle went through the building. It's a child's birthday party. We have several people on the ground, as well as several children injured, possibly one pinned underneath the vehicle.
Can you see if you can put a helicopter on standby? And start a second helicopter.
Mass casualty incident, several people injured.
That looked kind of intentional. She was beelining towards that place. I thought when you guys were kind of describing it, she lost control. Like maybe she had came around a corner too fast and slid and then lost control when she was trying to get the car back. But that was straight into it. She missed every other car in the parking lot. Was she trying to? No, it didn't look out of control to me either, Stormy. I I'm wondering if she really wasn't trying to unalive her husband. Because I don't know where that was. Maybe too far back. Nope. That's insane. I don't know if that's smoke or water or dust or all of the above. And Carmen, did you catch that happened on your birthday? All right. Yeah. So that's a dirt road. Okay. All right, here
After
we
the
go.
car stopped 25 feet into the building, according to law enforcement. The neighbor says he went to investigate the crash and immediately called police.
She missed everything.
Vehicle went through the building. It's a child's birthday party. We have several people on the ground, as well as several children injured, possibly one pinned underneath the vehicle.
Can you see if you can put a helicopter on standby? And start a second helicopter.
Mass casualty incident, several people injured.
Officers say that they have shut down Vernus Tavern, where it's speculated that the driver was before the crash. There's currently an ongoing investigation when Monroe County Sheriff Troy Goodenough says that the individual is currently in police custody for operating while intoxicating, causing death. We were told that the female cooperated on scene and that additional criminal charges are expected.
Time since February, the nation's average price of gasoline.
Yeah, we all know gas sucks. Wow. I didn't expect that. I thought it was, yeah, Carmen. I thought she missed everything. She barely missed a pole, but she missed it. It's just a driving. So is it, Gabby, that second link, is it just what we just saw? I bet not. I didn't see brake lights. I mean, we lose her when she's going into the building, but I didn't see any brake lights come on at all, anywhere. That's, yeah, yep. That's insane. That is insane. You know, I was feeling just like this much bad for her, thinking she made a bad decision and it ended horrible and she's going to pay for it for the rest of her life, to what are you doing? Yeah, it did look like she accelerated. Was her husband supposed to be sitting at the bar there like the one woman said? That's where she was aiming for because he usually sits there? Wow. Well, I bet we see that one. I as much as yeah, she's something. I don't know what she is. But dang. I don't understand her. Those people because I will say if this one comes on, if we're watching it. All right, I'm clicking another link. But I know I'm not leaving this time. Stop. Stop. Oh. Yeah. Whoopsies. I'm such a I surely do suck at this sometimes. Is this what we just pretty much what we just saw, Gabby, or is there more? Are these the kids? Not in the building. Well, Carmen, if you could see what Rue's doing now, you wouldn't be proud of her. I'm just saying, I would be in trouble if I showed it on screen. I'd have to put a censored over it. That's what dogs do. It's what cats do. Oh, there's the kids. Oh, and it's muted.
Supposed to be planning a birthday party for Zane, not a funeral. They walked into that birthday party having a fun time. They were sitting at that table eating. And this woman crashed her car through this building, destroying all of our lives.
As an arraignment, the client has not been found guilty. We don't have prejudgment. My client has no record whatsoever. In fact, she has never even received a traffic ticket of the 50 years of driving.
The defendant is charged with count 1, homicide, 2nd degree.
The defendant is facing 2 life sentences. We have ample video evidence showing exactly what happened during this incident.
This is not a monster. It's horrible what happened. She had 1 glass of wine 4 hours prior.
She is a danger to this community, and that is illustrated no clearer than the 2 dead children that she is directly responsible for.
Aw, look how sweet.
Your Honor, the $1.5 million in the murder charge, I don't know where that's coming from, but they have to prove it.
An emotion-filled day inside a southeastern Michigan courtroom. The woman accused of crashing her car into the Swan Boat Club in Monroe County over the weekend, killing 2 children and hurting several others, facing a judge today. And tonight, we are learning that the birthday party during which this happened was for a 3-year-old child. A brother and sister, 4-year-old Zane Phillips and 8-year-old Alana Phillips, were both killed. The other victims between the ages of 11 and 70. That list includes the children's mother and 11-year-old brother who were also seriously injured. According to the family's lawyer, Mariah Dobbs suffered 6 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and severe cuts and bruises. Her 11-year-old survived, but remains in critical care after undergoing 7 hours of excruciating surgery, as they put it. He has 2 broken legs, broken ribs, and a fractured skull. His father remains by his side, and his attorney says that he is devastated.
The woman police say was behind the wheel was 66-year-old Marcella Chidester. She's locked up in Monroe County Jail right now. This is the first look at her mugshot as her court case officially started with formal charges during an arraignment this morning. Her charges include 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating while intoxicated causing death, 4 counts of operating while intoxicated causing serious injury. She sat next to her attorney in a packed courtroom today, including members of the victims' families. The judge set her bond at $1.5 million. If she's released, she will be monitored by GPS and prohibited from drinking alcohol. The defense originally argued she's never had as much as a traffic ticket in her life and should be considered innocent until proven guilty. Her lawyer pushed for a $100,000 bond and a home confinement instead.
Michael Sandlin spent the day inside the courtroom in Monroe County. Joins us now live. Michael, this was not your typical arraignment, was it?
No, it was far from it, Jeff. Now, arraignments normally last about a few minutes, but this morning's arraignment lasted a full half hour, complete with debate between the prosecution and the defense and emotional testimony from members of the victim's family. Marcella Chidester, seen Tuesday morning in chains, made her first public appearance since her arrest, and her arraignment led to high emotions on both sides of the case, with both the prosecution and defense going head-to-head over the matter of her bond.
People are requesting $1.5 million bond at this point, along with conditions.
We're asking for home confinement along with 100,000, 10% cash or surety.
The disparity between the 2 requests comes from the 2 different sides' interpretation of the case. Monroe County Prosecutor Jeffrey Yorkey says they have ample evidence to show Saturday's crash was a matter of intoxicated driving.
The defendant suffers from a very severe substance abuse issue, corroborated by friends and family members, and she creates a very high risk to the public.
But Chidester's defense attorney, Bill Kolovos, says she's a 66-year-old woman with no previous record. The local bar she was seen in the day of the crash claims she only had 1 drink, and this was all an accident stemming from a medical condition.
An epileptic type seizure in her legs. In fact, that day she was treated for it. It's absolutely horrible. But some things we don't have control over.
But as Chidester's defense attorney continued to argue in her favor, unusual behavior started to break out in the courtroom.
If me, Bill Kolovos, has a heart attack on the freeway and I hit somebody changing a tire, I can't be liable in today's society.
Yeah, but your ass wasn't drunk.
Members of the victim's family, present over Zoom, started chiming in. And as the chorus of angry voices continued to get louder, the judge soon threatened to end the call if they were not silent. Finally, Chidester's bond was set at $1.5 million, putting to rest a painful first day of court. Chidester's next court appearance is scheduled for April 30th. Reporting in Monroe, I'm Michael Sandlin for the WTOL 11.
This is a story that is making headlines across the country.
We want to make sure you're up to speed on everything there is to know about the investigation. Our team coverage continues tonight with Melissa Andrews and Brian Duggar. We start with Melissa, who has more on what the victims' family members had to say. Mel.
Well, to say the family of these children is devastated would be understating their grief. Raquel Smothers is the children's aunt and sister of their mother, Mariah. She sobbed and shook uncontrollably as she tried to describe the children, who they were, what happened, and the impact of Chidester's actions on Saturday. She said that the family should have been planning a birthday party for Zane, who would be turning 5 next month. Right. Instead, they are planning his and his sister Alana's funerals. She talked about a day that turned from pure joy to utter devastation, a devastation that will never leave her memory.
They walked into that birthday party having a fun time. They were sitting at that table eating, and this woman crashed her car through this building, destroying all of our lives. Not just my family, everyone else that was in that building. My nephew and my sister are still fighting for their lives today.
It won't be well, George.
I had to be the one to tell my sister her babies were gone when they removed her ventilator yesterday.
I can't imagine.
She said, "How am I supposed to live without my babies?"
Smothers also said that Chidester never should have been behind the wheel with or without a medical history, that no one should be drinking while on medication, let alone driving. And the results of those actions, she can never get out of her mind, seeing her niece and nephew under Chidester's car, an image she now sees every night when she tries to go to sleep. Kaylee?
Well, the family of the two children killed have filed a civil lawsuit against Marcella Chidester in a bar she was allegedly drinking at earlier in the day. According to the family's lawyer, the lawsuit was filed by Mariah Dodds and her son John, who are both still in the hospital. John Marco is representing the family. He says this is every family's worst nightmare.
They thought a bomb went off at first when this car came crashing through this child's birthday party. And the mother woke up in the hospital and she was severely injured and catastrophically injured. And the first thing she wanted to know is, how are my children doing?
Marco would not say how much the family is hoping to get from the lawsuit. He is planning to provide more details of the case during a news conference tomorrow
You know
morning.
how much they're going to get? Probably. I don't know how you get it. I
My
mean, through your
client
insurance.
has a history of having seizures. And this history has lasted since last November. It started of an epileptic type seizure in her legs. In fact, that day she was treated.
No. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 6 months that she would have to be seizure free. So, sorry, sir, she's still wrong. I can't. I don't like liars. Maybe he's not lying. Maybe he just doesn't know. Speaking of mullets, I saw a great one Saturday. It was like bald. Like the hair gave up, it gave up, it gave up. And then it was literally curly in the back, along the back of his head. Just the back stayed. I was laughing so hard. He was just a party. He had no business. The business had left. My husband was like, "What is that woman doing with that man?" I don't know. I don't know. I'm with you, Carmen, and I may not be as mad as what I am if we didn't know what you just went through and how your license would have been taken had you have driven in any circumstances. Yeah, I can't. I can't. But yeah, I want to watch this trial. I may explode, but I do want to watch it. Yeah, that poor bald guy. He could not give it up. It was hilarious. Like, just give in. Give in. It's gone. It's gone. And it was curly. It was weird. Yep. Yep. Roseanne. Yep. Yes. Yes, like you're correct, George. And the sentencing we're gonna watch here at 2:30 Eastern time is in Texas. And it's a trial that the world needed to see too. And it wasn't widely covered at all. It was horrible. It's a child abuse one, and nobody covered it. I did, and finally the mother, I use that word lightly, is being sentenced today. She got a plea deal out of it, which I hate, and I hope she gets the max. And I will stream this if it's on. I will stream it. Why, you don't want to hear between my dog snoring and my stomach growling, there's lots of noises coming in today. And I'm out. I forgot to buy some yesterday at the store. Yes, Carmen. I'm with you, and I know. I do not eat white people. I'm gonna die. What, Roseanne? Was the tot in the closet? Was that the tot? Oh, no. That little girl was in my state, and they're just now getting started with those people. The prosecutor is asking for life without parole, which is great. Oh, there it is. Sorry. So my understanding, so this is in Judge Boyd's courtroom, which I love Judge Boyd. I heard her comment a couple weeks ago that I don't know if she requires or the state requires there to be a plea. I think a plea deal has to be extended. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it in this case at all. Yeah. Roseanne, Carmen's just hit her out of left field. Literally. She was walking. She was working and she was walking and she just went down. Next thing she knows, I don't remember if she woke up in the ambulance or in the hospital. She had no idea. And she couldn't drive for 6 months. The doctor said, if I catch you driving, your license is gone. I'm Eastern time, Wendy. You and I should be on the same time. When you're saying those people, I have to clarify because there's too many. I don't know which one you're talking. Unfortunately, I don't know if you're talking about those people in Indy as being the evil people or those people in Texas as being the evil people. Either way, they're all evil. Eastern Pacific White Mountain time now? Really? Yeah, Indianapolis, those people. Because grandma was involved of all people. Put grandma in there. Like, I guess these probably hit me harder. And this little girl in this video probably hits me hard because my son and daughter-in-law are getting ready to have a little girl. It's not anything to take away from the little boy, but it probably hits harder because they're little girls. The one we're covering today, little girl. Indianapolis, little girl. I just, and I had told you guys, yep. And they had taken her at 3 weeks because mom was starving her. And they said that was the worst living conditions they had ever seen. And the grandpa wanted to adopt her. They were trying. And they were like, nope, we need to reunify the family. Like, no, it doesn't work in all cases. It does, George. It just hits us. These little girls. Yes, Harmony. I knew that I was missing one. Yeah. And that's nothing to take away from Timothy or anybody else that I've seen. I don't know the little boy's name. His stepmom just had a trial in Texas. They didn't air it. I don't know that I could have watched it if they did, because they showed a video of him that she took in the car, and they showed the video. And he is sitting in the back seat of the car and he's crying and he's asking for bread. And the stepmom brings the phone back over to her and she just looks annoyed. And he died that day from starvation. I don't think I could have watched that trial. And his older brother said, I didn't tell anybody because I knew what she was doing would come to him. Is that Gannon? Okay. They didn't show it. I don't even know. I hope that woman was found guilty. I couldn't. The video was rough. It was hard when we heard Mercedes Lasoya's, what she was going through. I can't imagine seeing her going through what she was going through. The things that man did to her. Maybe it wasn't Gannon. Then I don't know what this little boy's name was, but it was stepmom. Are you talking about Letitia? Was that Letitia's stepson? Yeah, no, not that one. This one just happened. It was in Texas. And yeah, even if they had shown it, I couldn't. I don't think we could have stomached it. And I don't know. Sorry for the clicking. Dogs are moving around. I don't know about doing the little boy that I talked about on Friday, because his trial starts tomorrow, and I was reading about it, and it's awful. And there's video of it. Hello, my obscene breathers here. His dad made him run on the treadmill, and he kept speeding it up, and the little boy fell. And he would apparently pick the boy up by his collar or whatever and just put him back on it. And the little boy could not keep up with it. At one point, apparently the dad may have bit the top of this little boy's head. And then I don't know if it was the next day or whatever, the little boy gets up and he's slurring his speech and he's stumbling around. So dad, being the great dad he is, decides to take him to the hospital. Well, he didn't make it. He had blunt force head trauma, injuries to his head. And I don't know. I don't know that I want to do that one. There is an unaliver trial starting Monday it's in Southern Indiana, and they've said they're going to stream it. So I'm trying to find it. These two people, apparently, I don't know if it was the wife and her lover, but they unalived her husband. So I'm thinking more that one than this little boy. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm not, hope you guys can forgive me. I don't want to hear any more out of this guy's mouth unless you want me to finish it up. I will finish this little newscast up. So back to this idiot here. The judge didn't lower her bond, right? It's 1.5 million and he wanted 10% cash assurity. All right, Wendy. I will stop this stream and then at 2:30 go over to the Mendoza sentencing if you're available. Okie doke. Carmen, you're gonna have to help me because yeah, I'd say she got home confinement, but surely he didn't let her out without paying anything. So 10% cash assurity, that just means she had to pay 10%, but still $1.5 million, 10% of that. It's a lot of money. 10% or $1.5 million cash. What's the other? Yeah, 1.5 million. So she has money then? Or is her home worth 150K? That's a lot of money. Huh. Well, Stormy, I don't think that will be one person I ask onto my stream. I don't know anything about, I don't know a lot about the Sebastian case. It's weird and I wouldn't have, no. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So she's being sued. I would never. So Carmen's calling me. Hello. Are you supposed to be on speaker right now? Okay. Sorry. Now you're on speaker.
So with the 10%, it doesn't necessarily mean that she has money, but you can put your house up. Like for the bail bondsmen, you can put your house up. If you have like a boat, a vehicle, jewelry, any sort of asset that you have, a bail bondsman will just take that as collateral.
All right.
All right, that's all I wanted. I just didn't want to type that out.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Oh. Huh. Interesting. It's like, what am I supposed to do with you? All right. I think I'm going to take George's advice. I'm going to go eat so my stomach quits growling. Although eating sometimes makes it worse. So if it does, sorry. I will be back here in like an hour because I think I have the other stream set for 2:20 to start. We can just watch some Judge Boyd while we wait. I'll see if I can find another short little thing, maybe in Judge Simpson's courtroom. I love Judge Simpson. But I think that's what I'm going to do, if you all are good with that. Like when I try to go back. Yes, please hit the like and subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Thanks, George. I appreciate it. All right, I'll see you guys in about an hour, and then we'll get this other monster. We'll say later to her. So I'm gonna go eat. I'll be back. All right, bye.